Tad Phillips grew up in the small town of Franzburg, Kansas. Becoming an internet superstar at the mere age of 24, he's made over 60 cat capturing video blogs and grossed over 9 million theoretical internet dolls with a net worth of zero.
I don't know what idioma is.
Making him worth absolutely nothing.
All right, so this one time I was watching YouTube, came home from school, I got this email. He made a new video. So I get on, start watching it. He's walking outside. The old woman lost her little cat, Fifi, you know? He needed to reunite Fifi with the woman. He's walking outside, he hears a meow. Where's the meow coming from? From a tree, you know? He goes and he grabs a broom. He starts, you know, cat's not moving. Cat is staying up there, does not want to come around. So he takes this broom, puts it up in the tree, kind of wiggles it around, then all of a sudden the cat just friggin' falls out of the tree.
I got the cat out, but I wasn't able to capture it because it ran away.
Just friggin' booked it. And he just wasn't fast enough.
Usually when I'm finding and grabbing these cats, I'm inside of a house in a very small space.
He kept trying and like just kept running, and oh, it's probably the saddest time in my life when I saw him not capture that cat. That poor woman, she was never reunited, and like.
When the cat's outside, I can't really catch it. They're fast. I wasn't paid for that.
I'd marry him. I would marry him, so I would never have to lose my cat, ever, ever.
Well, I gotta tell you that what got me into the technical field of cat capturing was that when I was younger, my grandmother used to give me checks, essentially for doing nothing but being her grandson. She was very kind to me, and occasionally, you know, all I'd have to do for, you know, birthday checks, Halloween checks, whatever reason a grandmother might give you a check. Occasionally, she'd lose her cat, and that was very upsetting for her. As an old woman, she's very concerned about her cat. So occasionally I would have to find her cat, which I became very good at after a time. Usually cats will be under a bed or couch, and apparently my grandmother never figured this out. And so around the age of 23, 24, the checks stopped coming in. I found myself in a very dark point within my life, and I decided that I was going to have to find a real job, aside from just getting checks from my grandmother. I found area grandmothers and was kind enough to find their cats for them. I don't feel like I'm taking advantage or exploiting any old women. I don't force these women to call me, but they do. They have a need. They have a need for me and my ability to find cats, which they lack. I could hypothetically show them where their cat is usually and not charge them. But the fact of the matter is, what would that be teaching them? Plus, they're old and they would forget. I don't think you can blame me for that. More than likely, I'd be working at Burger King.
Some people agree with what Tad does,
Amazing. My top list of most important people in this
while others seem to take Tad with a grain of salt.
And economically. He's a drain on the pockets of old ladies who don't need his help, who are just simply without cats. Those cats will come out of those beds on their own. For this to be a YouTube phenomenon, it blows my mind. I mean, do you really think this is real? I mean, think about anything else that's been on YouTube ever. Dax Flame. He's not real. No one's that socially awkward. That girl who was lonely, she was faking. She was acting. People are acting. He could very well be an actor of some kind who's using his cats to act, to make it seem like he's some kind of fancy cat capturer. For lack of better terms, this man is a poser. He runs a company for something that is not needed at all for old people.
You can't abuse your customer base. You also can't alienate your core customer base. When an old woman asks you to reach up for something high because she can't get it, you should probably not tell her to go yourself.
There are people out there, like myself, who are helping elderly patrons of this country who need a service that they can't provide for themselves. I, for instance, run a hotline where elderly patrons will call. We'll put their name on a list and we will call them when their favorite shows are on, Matlock or Murder, She Wrote. And we're providing a valuable service to these people. This man, it's not a service. He's infringing on my market.
The youth of Tamari What could I give them advice for? Well, I'd say find a market that no one else has found, exploit it,
All right, princess.
and don't let anyone else in
Get
on
out of
it.
the tree.
Also, I prefer not to work on Wednesdays. You really need a break in the middle of the work week. I mean, 5 whole days, that's ridiculous.